This is either bad acting or we truly have some assholes on this show. Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And this is my review on Love and Marriage Detroit, Season 1, Episode 2, Pour the Wine and the Drama. Okay, so we start off this episode where we left off the last episode. Christina is crying and she's really annoyed and upset about not knowing about Brandon's new artist. And instead of Brandon blaming himself, he wants to blame Colby. Russell also wants to blame Colby for saying something. And then Anthony, which we will get on him later, wants to blame Russell for even saying something to his wife as if he broke the bro code. I honestly don't think Colby knew that Christina did not know. I think that she was having the conversation by saying, hey, now that you have a new artist, like, how is this going to go? I really don't think that she knew. However, when she realized that Christina didn't know, she continued. So, I guess that could be an issue for some, but at the same time, it's not Colby's fault. Brandon should have told his wife a long time ago. And we find out later on that's his problem. He's so quick to go to everyone else except his wife. That is a communication issue. So with that, Christina and Brandon man bun go to the side and they have a conversation. And Christina realizes when he was acting weird, when she FaceTimed him, that's probably when that new artist was there. So she questions him and says, when I FaceTime you, was that new artist there? And Brandon says yes. And so at that point, she's like, aha, MFA, that's the reason why you were acting weird. So Brandon, was dancing with her and he's like, you are my person. And he said, I understand she hasn't healed from this situation. So if I have to, go through this process with her for her to heal, then so be it. Which I did love that part of him because here's the thing, you are the one who messed up. So if it's going to take her some time to heal, then so be it, and just be in the trenches with her, which I appreciated that. I did appreciate that. I wish I could leave it on that note though, and leave it on a positive note with Brandon, aka Man Bun, but I can't. And we will get to that later. So Colby and Russell are doing their like home decor stuff. And Colby says she stands firm on what she said, and Brandon should have told his wife. And I agree. Like I just said earlier, I agree. And so Russell, says, well, you kind of messed up the night or whatever the case may be. And, look, at the end of the day, this is also a TV show. So we don't know really who really stirred up the pot. Was it really Colby or was it really production? Because here's the thing. If you say anything in front of the camera, trust and believe is going to come back around. And Brandon spoke to Russell on camera about the situation. You didn't think production was going to come back and make sure that someone was going to stir the pot? Get the hell up out of here. So Russell randomly wants to tell Colby that he wants to be an ordained minister, okay? And that he has already started school. Mind you, he has not told her. He's telling her now, even though he started the process behind her back. And so Colby is a PK kid, and a PK means a preacher's kid. So she's looking at him like, what? So she's annoyed. And mind you, I think she has every right to be annoyed. And she's like, why would you do something and then literally when you talk to me about it, you're already telling me it's done and I'm not supposed to be annoyed about this? Like, that is very frustrating. And so he goes into this man mode because, of course, she's frustrated. He's like, calm down, watch your tone, you're being disrespectful. And I don't think she was being disrespectful. You could tell she was annoyed. She didn't curse at him. She didn't do any of that stuff. She didn't, you know what I'm saying, like talk down to him. She was just like, I'm frustrated, Russell. Like, why would you do this and not tell me? Granted, if it was the other way around and Kobe did something and didn't tell Russell, it would be a big issue. But because he keeps saying you need to look at your Bible and I'm the man, I guess he felt like he could do it. At the same time, though, I feel like that scene was a little forced, so it almost kind of feels like this could be bad acting, because I kind of felt that vibes too. I felt the vibe of, I don't know if this is real or not, but y'all let me know what you think about the situation. But she's frustrated, and she's like, anything else you want to tell me? And he was like, yeah, well, I want to open up a gym. And so she's just like, at this point, she's done with it. Cause she's like, I mean, what the hell else do you want to plan without me? Now, here's the thing. He said he wants to open a gym. He didn't say he already opened a gym. So at that point, Kobe, he did come to you before he actually did it. Now, the whole minister thing, he already had that emotion. But with the gym, he did come to you first. So, but she was just frustrated at that point. And so again, I feel like so far, I know it's only episode 2, we keep having this man versus, you know what I'm saying, the man versus the woman. I don't like that. I don't like the vibes of it, especially when it comes to our black people, because we already have enough of that anyways. But with that, Russell really thought that he was going to be able to control the conversation, and Kobe made it very clear in her confessional, honey, you acting like I'm one of your drill sergeants or whatever in the army, and that's not about to happen. So next, we have Brandon and Christina in their penthouse. And this is where I looked at Brandon, aka Man Bun. See, this is why I say you can't trust a man with a man bun. Like, you just can't trust him, okay? I've never seen a legit man with a man bun. It is what it is. So he wants to bring up Kobe and the drama the night before. Not him taking responsibility like a man is supposed to do, but he wants to bring up Kobe and says she was wrong and she was a mean girl for doing what she did at the anniversary. Even tried to mimic her, which I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, Brandon, like, you doing teen too much. But he wants to go into that situation with Kobe, and then he wants to do the divide and conquer situation where now, since Kobe, I guess in his mind, has interfered in his marriage, now he wants to put a little BS in his wife's ear about how Kobe may be a questionable friend to her altogether. And to me, that's some bitch shit. And so let me explain. He says after the whole situation and the drama with the Lavender anniversary party, he all of a sudden says, well, Kobe has been swagger jacking, which I have not heard that in so long. She has been swagger jacking some of your stuff because they're both, social media influencers or whatever. And how when Christina said she wanted to do a sip and shop, the next day Kobe was doing a sip and shop. And he said that's questionable. And here's my thing. Had Kobe never, quote unquote, said anything at your freaking anniversary party, would you be doing this? And even Christina's like, look, she's my friend. I don't want to assume that about her. I am an influencer. People get influenced by what I do. And so she even says, if are you doing this now because of the fact of what she did or what you felt like she did to you? And he was like, yeah. Bitch shit. That's bitch shit. Like, seriously. Like, you seriously want to play this petty game as a man because of something you did. You're mad that Kobe called you out on something you did. So now you want to play this divide and conquer. And this is why I say all the time when it comes to my black women. Y'all, like, sometimes we be fighting over situations and it be that man in the background stirring the pot. Like, seriously. And that's exactly an example of what Brandon is doing. This was so unnecessary. If Christina felt that way, let Christina figure it out. But the fact that you wanted to put that bug in her ear and start some drama, That's bitch shit. I can't respect it, man bun. Just can't respect it. So next we have Brandon, Anthony, Russell, and another friend. They're at the club. And I'm sorry, this don't look like a legitimate club. This looks like a fake set, a scene just for the guys. And then Brandon gets a call from Christina and he's lying, saying that they're in church. Again, I feel like it was a fake scene, but y'all let me know. I was just like, seriously, you're saying that they're in church, the camera's in front of you, clearly in the background, you can tell it's not a church. Like, this scene is not making any sense. So the main thing that we find out in this situation is the history. And Brandon finally speaks on the history of what happened with his artist. This is Brandon's version now. He says that he ended up getting really tight with this artist. Like, I guess because this artist had to pour out her past and things that she's gone through to really develop her as an artist. And in return, he started venting to her. And what I mean by venting is he started venting to her, I guess, apparently about his relationship problems and things like, oh my gosh, my wife is getting on my nerve. I don't want to be married, things like that. And so let him tell it one day, because I was thinking, oh crap, this artist went to the wife and was throwing up in, her face about how her husband is running his mouth. But no, apparently that's not the case. Brandon says that Christina went on his laptop and saw all of the messages and the text messages between Brandon and this artist. Now, here's the thing. One, the fact that she went on your laptop, I mean, typically most people don't share. I guess some people still share laptops and computers, but realistically, because they both have their own separate businesses, something tells me they have their own separate laptops. The fact that she had to go on your laptop in the first place tells me that she already felt you was on some shady shit in the first place. Sorry, but why was she on your laptop? And were your text messages just randomly up, or did she have to go through there? So she was already feeling something in the first place. Christina sees the text messages and it's a lot of ish on there from, she getting on my nerve, all of this stuff. And even Anthony, which again, I will get to him later. Anthony's like, if my wife found that type of stuff, I wouldn't be in the house. And that's true, because the thing is, that is the ultimate betrayal. You should be able to talk to your spouse about these things, or at the very least, go to a counselor or someone that you know cannot run their mouths. But the fact that you go to this artist, that is the ultimate betrayal. But again, Brandon seems to have an issue with actually speaking to her, because any other time, Anthony is his mouthpiece, everybody else is his mouthpiece, and for whatever reason, he can't be straight up and honest with Christina. So once we find that out, of course, Brandon swears up and down everybody need a pinky swear that they're not going to say anything. Dude, fool, the camera is there. Get the hell up out of here with that nonsense. So next, we see Colby, and she meets with Christina and apologizes for what went down at the anniversary party. Not for what she said, but just the fact that, it ruined the moment. And at that point, Colby tells Christina about Russell going to, school to be a minister. And you could tell Colby's issue with that is she hated being a preacher's kid. She does not want that life for herself or her kids. So that in itself is going to be an issue, because she's not really feeling that life. She wanted to stay away from that life. So it's gonna be interesting to see, since he already made that decision, how this is gonna go as far as the future of their marriage is concerned. So yeah, but child, we get to the wine tasting, okay? And the wine tasting scene is, Anthony seems to be the king of the drama at this point. And again, I don't know if it's bad acting or this is truly the type of men we have on this show, but it annoyed the hell out of me. So at the wine tasting, Anthony opens up his big mouth and says that, Brandon used to be a wild boy back in the day, and they talked about it at the club the other day. Mind you, we already know Brandon lied to Christina about being in the club. Anthony claims in his confessional he didn't mean to say it. This, in my opinion, even if this is acting or bad acting, this just proves that men talk just as much, if not more, than women do. Because this was an example of how they constantly gossip and they are the first ones to spill the beans about a lot of stuff. So Brandon, of course, opens up his eyes all extra big, like, did you just really call me out like that? And he was like, okay, here we go. So Christina's friend, she calls her little sister, is actually in attendance with the wine tasting. She's there next to her. And so next thing you know, Anthony, yet again, because Christina was like at the club, like, you guys were at the club. Anthony gets into Brandon and Christina's bed again and pretty much is talking to Christina, like, trying to check her in a way when it comes to their relationship. And Brandon is just sitting there like a freaking bitch, hate to say it, but acted as if, like, it's totally acceptable for Anthony to be talking to his wife in any way in regards to their relationship. Brandon does not have a backbone. He's weak as hell. And my whole thing is, even if you have a sidebar conversation with your boy about your relationship, Anthony should never feel comfortable going to Christina and questioning anything to your wife about any situation. That's not his place. And of course, Brandon is sitting there as if he's too scared to say anything. And so at that point, Christina's friend chimes in and she's like, asking Anthony, why is he so passionate about Brandon and Christina's relationship? And I would have to agree. You got too much going on in your own relationship to sit up there and be focused on Brandon and Christina's relationship. Next thing you know, Anthony queens out. And what I mean by queening out, it gave me Wanda and Shanae vibes. It was just like, you are going too far, which is why I said, is this bad acting or is this how you really are? He's like, little girl, I don't know who you are, but this is a boss table, and Christina, you a boss. You can't be kicking it with birds and little girls or whatever the case may be, just completely disrespecting this woman. And just because she pretty much questions, why are you involved in a relationship like that? Okay? Why are you involved in it? And at this point, did Christina's friend have a right to say something? I would say so, because Anthony is saying something and Christina and Brandon's relationship has nothing to do with him. So why can't her friend protect Christina? Because Anthony was coming for Christina. And so Anthony just queens out. He really queens out. You a little bird, you at a boss's table. First of all, let's be clear. Bosses don't have to keep saying they're bosses. Real talk. If you a boss, we know you a boss without you saying you're a boss. Okay? So he spazzes out and the episode goes off. And and that's another thing too. Anthony is like, homegirl, you need to stay in your lane. Anthony, you need to stay in yours. So this is what I'm saying, that contradiction of, I can do it because I'm a man, but as a woman, you shouldn't do it, is bullshit. And I really hope, again, this is not going to be the main focus of this season and this show, because it's going to get boring at a certain point. Like, it just, and Anthony is showing it, Russell is showing it, and Man Bun is showing it. It's all about the gender wars. And I don't like that. I don't like that. We can still have drama, but it doesn't have to be, I said this because I'm the man and because you a woman, you supposed to bow down type of mentality. I don't like it. So you guys let me know what you think about this nonsense. Let me know what you think about Anthony and how you felt, how he came. The whole damn episode, he was annoying me, in my opinion. How do you feel about Man Bun, aka Brandon, and his stuff? Christina, hell, maybe some of you guys feel like Christina is just doing too much. Y'all can let me know that too. But anywho, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles!